Hi, hi. In this tutorial, we're going to be looking at the Ruby while loop. It's very straightforward and simple. I'm going to do it in the Java first, so that we can compare the Java one, the Java one from the Ruby one. The Java one is simple as well. Just while is a keyword, and then the brackets. And what goes inside the brackets is a statement, and if that statement is true, the loop will run. If it's false, then the while loop will be exited. Okay, and so before the while loop, I'm going to create an integer int while num and equals 0. And so the statement I'm going to have in here to be true is it's going to be while num is less than 5. So if it is less than 5 at the moment, so it is going to run. If it was 5 or 6, then it wouldn't run. And so the code within the curly braces will be the code that will be executed during the while. And we're going to do something simple, just print something to screen. System dot out dot print ln. So in Java, it's a plus operator that's used to add strings as concatenate. As you'll see that in the Ruby we use we can use that operator to add them, but in the print and the put we would put a comma, and I will show you that's one of the differences. And so I'm going to do while num, so it's going to print out the number, and it's got to end with a semicolon. Yeah, it's a small, I want that a big one, capital there. It's another typo. While num. Yeah, I forgot to put a semicolon after this argument. And there's another one. Yes, this is outside the main. Yeah, so it's got to be inside the main. That's it, yeah. Okay. Yeah, all the code's got to be inside the main. Yeah. And so if I run it, I've got to stop it. It's continuing. It's continuing because I'm not incrementing. I've got to increment the integer. So I can do it this way, increment, but I'm going to do it the same way what's the other one? 1. And yeah, it stops at 4. So it starts at 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. It starts at 0 and it stops at 4 because the argument is if it's less than 5, then it's true. So to execute the loop, and if it's greater than 4, 5 or more, then while loop, and so that's what it has done. So that's the loop in the Java working, and now we're going to go over to Ruby. I'm going to comment this out. And I'm going to have like a while num equals 0, while num is less than 5, enter. It's as simple as that compared to the Java. I'm just going to put, put just this, put s. And where we put a plus sign in the print statement, we put a comma, and then we will write the variable that we want printed, hit enter. And there's a difference between the put s and the print, and that's what I'm going to show you a good example for it. End, save, DOS prompt, hello underscore world .rb. Yeah, again, same mistake again. It's while num equals 1. We're going to increment it. 1. And that's just a variable that we've used here. That's the name of it. We could call it anything we wanted. Now it'll start off 0, it'll go to 1, it'll go to 2, go to 3, go to 4, and then it'll stop because it's incrementing. Beforehand it was just staying at 0, so it would continue go through the while loop because it would always be true. Now if we run the program, you can see it stops. While num 0, while num 1, while num 2, while num 3, now while num 4, and when it gets 5 it's false, so it doesn't execute the while loop anymore. It only does it when the value is true. And that's puts after it does the first statement, it adds a new line to it, then adds a 0. This here is 0, and this here is the string, the first string, and adds a new line to it. Well, print doesn't. I'll show you what happens with print. Save, and print adds them all together in the one line. So, but print has got an advantage because it put another comma, put the double quotes, backspace, a new line, save, and the statement's going to be in a new line. It's going to look much nicer. See, while equals while 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's what print does, and I can make it into a tab as I've done before in the last tutorial. It can have a combinations of these control characters, and it's put a tab between them as if you've pressed the tab key. So that's it. That's the while loop in Ruby. So again, thank you very much for your time and listening. I hope it's helpful.